Alright, so this is going to be an Abed replay analysis. He is playing Storm Spirit mid lane against Shadow Fiend. In this current replay, he is actually rank 1. And the Shadow Fiend player is rank 11. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys play against each other. Starting, he's got Magic Stick mid lane, so every time Shadow Fiend casts raises, he's gonna get stick charges. He's got Circlet and 3 branches. This is to maximize the amount of stats he has early game. He has 2 tangles shared from his team, and the Observer Ward, he has not yet placed it. And he's gonna place it here so you can see where the arrows are gonna come from, probably. I think that's his biggest goal by planting a ward there. So he has a pretty good block, level 1. And you can see the SF, he's like starting to raise instantly from the very beginning, and he's got 2 mangoes. So the way the SF is playing is like he wants to raise and he wants to get that stacks of raises going so he can like try to solo kill the Storm Spirit or like put a lot of pressure on him. And he knows that if he gets Necromancy, he can't actually get all the last hits, right? It's going to be very hard, and Storm is going to get all the last hits in the lane. So that's why he scaled raises. And Abed already knows that. In this matchup, Storm versus SF, he buys Magic Stick. And you can see like he has a lot of respect for these raises, and his SF is not going to let these stacks of Shadow Rays go off at all. And he's already at 3 stacks, so he's starting to get very scared in the lane, and he instantly buys a flask with the first starting gold he got from his bounty runes. And now he's got some momentum with the creep waves because they were in his tower, and he lets the raise run out. And then you can see like when he's last hitting, if he knows the SF is going to contest him for the last hit, he's going to use a Revenant. The last hit. And his SF is being extremely aggressive here. Not letting the Storm walk up and get anything done. Even though he doesn't have any mana left, he still has 1 mango and a stick charge, and that's really scary for Abed. So he goes back, flask up, gets back to full everything, and goes back into the lane. He's not allowing the SF to have any chance of killing him. Now remember, this is like the 3rd wave already, so in the first 2 waves he's only got 3 last hits, and the SF only got 2 last hits. They're completely fine with not getting so many last hits right now, as long as the other person isn't either. And the reason being is both players are not too focused on the last hits. They're like trying to focus on harassing and surviving. Like SF is focused on harassing, Storm is focused on like surviving this lane, and until like SF runs out of gas. And this SF buys like 2 more mangoes already. And so this is where like the SF needs to get something done soon, or he's just gonna run out of like resources and gold. And here we can see Abed, like he's using all his right clicks to hit the SF, and he's trying to last hit with his Remnant. So every time he casts Remnant, it will like proc a overload charge on the SF, and that's going to be a lot of harass damage. And now SF instantly uses his flask, and Abed is just going in again, just keep harassing. He even got Vortex on level 3 here just for the harass, because after the SF flasked up, he wants to bring him back down to like half health. He doesn't like the SF being at full HP, it seems like. And now the SF is level 3, and this is where it gets like a little bit scary, right? Because the SF can like just pretty much solo the Storm just by casting triple raises. And now he knows that, and he keeps bringing Flask out to himself. Like as you can see, he's not trying to save like money just for a bottle. He's always bringing Flask out because he knows the SF keeps harassing him. And he keeps using his Electric Vortex to hurt the Shadow Fiend. And there he almost dies, but that's why the Magic Stick he had from the very beginning of the game saved his life. Like he had like 5 HP left, and here comes the Mirana. And this Mirana honestly shouldn't even kill this Storm. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So let's go back a little bit to analyze what just happened, right? So he came too close for the harass, and he almost dies. He sees the Mirana in the ward, but he doesn't go all the way back and like tries to run back to the base. You know why? Because if he runs back to the base before he TPs back into the mid lane, what would happen is he would die. Sorry, he would lose the lane instead of dying, right? He would run all the way back, the walk of shame all the way back here, and before he TPs back to the mid lane, he doesn't even have a bottle, so he can't even heal fast in base. This SF would have already had level 4.5 and full souls again, right? So instead what he prefers is he actually dies here, But he doesn't want to die to the SF. He doesn't want to give the gold to the SF. So he pretends like he's not, going back. He's going to die to the Mirana. It's going to make the Mirana work for it. And then he's going to TP back mid lane, full mana, full HP. And his SF is not going to have full mana anymore. In this situation, it's much better that this Mirana doesn't actually kill the Storm. This Mirana should just let the Storm, right, run back to base. And that will ruin the Storm's game completely. Okay? So here, this Mirana tries so hard to kill, and what does he get? It's like 150 gold. It's like not much, right? And now the Storm's dead for 20. He's gonna revive full everything and TP mid instantly. And this SF isn't gonna have a lot of mana anymore. Anyway, let's see what his plan of action is, because this is not looking good for Abed anymore. This is not a game where he's like completely dominating the mid lane. In fact, he's actually losing the mid lane. So here it is, Storm revives. This time he's got a mango, he's got magic stick, still is the same items he's had from the very beginning of the game. He doesn't really have anything else that's different. He doesn't even have a bottle. Like, his net worth is probably not that good either. But this is what happens when like two really high like MMR players fight against each other. He pulls him, he doesn't wanna... Why did he actually pull him? That was interesting. So here he runs in and pulls him, which is really awkward. Because he put himself in a position where if he actually did get arrowed, he would have died. And this SF, like, he didn't buy boots yet, but if he does have boots, he can kill the Storm over and over again. So Abed is like really struggling right now because there's a Mirana who's non-stop sitting on him, and he's calling his Phoenix to come help him right now, right? And then this SF is also going to get a regen rune. So it's going to have full everything. So SF without dying gets full everything. So now the creeps are under his tower. He's just going to farm up a little bit. And he keeps non-stop casting his pull on the Shadow Fiend and just harassing him with it. That's really nice. I'm beginning to see like what he's doing. Like, he doesn't want to be like that passive person who is just going to chill and last it. He wants to show some level of dominance in the lane. And it's like really good. It's really good like harass, right? The Electric Vortex into the overload damage on the SF. And it's going to always put the SF out of position too. So here he just goes into a jungle. He knows that the wave is on SF's hill and SF is level 5. He has no chance in the lane anymore. He just goes straight into the jungle. He gets a bottle now and he just non-stop farming the woods. He's not even caring about the mid lane whatsoever anymore. He got a bottle, and let's not forget, like, he went into the right side of the jungle because that's where the bounty rune's about to spawn, right? He didn't go into the left side of the jungle. So that's something that's worth noting, because that way he was able to fill his bottle for free just with the bounty rune that spawns at 5 minutes. So if you actually play against like players like this, like, it's really nice if a support went here and like stole the bounty rune from like these Storm guys. So next item he buys is infused raindrop, and the only time he went back into the mid lane is because the creep wave reached his tower. He didn't go. I don't think he would have went back to mid lane if the creep wave didn't do that, because he has no point staying mid without being level 6 at least. Now he's level 6, and from 4 to 6 he just jungled because he had no chance to fight the SF. And it's very effective because of Remnant and Overload does like a lot. So here the SF tried to go for the rune, got caught by the Rubik, and now the Storm is there and they're going on the SF instead. He has 10 stick charges, but it doesn't matter. Abed himself had a bunch of stick charges also, and now the SF is dead because the Rubik was there going for the rune as well. And this is a huge game changer because that SF was completely dominating this game, and now Abed got a kill because he told his teammate, hey, come to this rune, SF will probably be there. He probably didn't say it, but you know, Rubik was there. I mean, you can get your teammates to prepare for the top rune as well by saying something like that. And SF being at the wrong place, going for the rune probably without any vision, dies, and now the Storm is like completely caught back up in the game. And he's just playing in the mid area and jungling non-stop. 7 minutes in, like, he's just focused on his own farm. He doesn't really care much about anybody else at this stage in the game, like, and he just keeps pushing the mid lane out. Now he goes bottom. That's interesting. So why did he go bottom here? So he was moving into the jungle to the right side. He notices bot lane, the NP is getting gone on. So he casually walks to the bottom lane because the enemy is getting a little bit out of position because he's like starting to dive the tower. And he goes in, goes instantly to the Grimstroke, pulls him, kills him, And now he has enough time to make it back to the bottom power rune. Will he find a power rune? Oh, he does not. So SF gets a power rune here. Abed doesn't get anything. There's a few creeps in his tower. He seems like in the early game, he's always ready to like go defend the mid tower no matter what. Like, the only reason why he went bottom is because he already pushed out mid and he had a little bit of time to like walk around or go into a jungle camp. So he decided to go bottom because the enemy was overly aggressive bot lane. He goes to the base, and then as soon as he finished pushing out mid and he only had like 200 mana, he goes straight to the base. You can see his items. He didn't buy any null talismans this game. I think that's a mistake that I make. Like, I always buy null on Storm. I think that's probably a mistake. So he went straight to wand and power treads. I think this gives better power spikes in the mid game, whereas null is like good for your laning. And he doesn't really care about the laning this game, right? So and then as soon as he finished healing, he will go straight back to the mid, pushes the mid lane out again. Like, he's always keeping his mid lane pushed out so his mid tower cannot be stressed. Very nice. And then he's farming a bit more aggressively at the moment. It's 10 minutes, about to be bounty rune timing and also outpost. And he's ready to like protect the bounty runes in the bottom area of the map or take the tower bottom if people are coming here. So this is good because at 10 minutes, I think one of the reasons why he also went back to base and healed up and went back mid is because for 10 minutes, he wanted to have 4 resources. He wanted all his bottle charges, he wanted full mana, full HP, and ready to fight for the bounty rune. As a mid laner, it's important that for 10 minutes, you're prepared to fight with your team. You don't want to be like 20% mana and like 50% HP at 10 minutes. Because then you're losing too much on the map just because you want to farm like 1 extra camp or something. So at 9 minutes, like, Abed was already done healing. And he was already back at the mid lane, pushing out the wave. And then running into the enemy jungle, prepared to fight bottom or take the outpost. Like, prepared to take the bounty runes or take the outpost if the enemy tries to contest them. Which is very big. And now he takes the bounties and goes back to mid lane. He's always protecting his mid lane as a mid laner. He's super good at doing that. It seems like he's always protecting the mid lane and he's always farming around the mid lane and ready to like fight around the mid so that his tower doesn't die. Now he TP's bottom because there's a fight breaking out. The PA was actually taking the tower, and then Kunkka TP bottom as well. And because he has his outpost here, he TPs to the outpost and he's ready to fight with full mana. Right? He's looking for the right. So here, as you can see, as soon as he TP'd, he didn't actually go right away for these guys. He went for the Mirana, who's out of position by herself. He's always looking for that easy kills. And now he gets another support as well. Wow, that NP ult was crazy. So one thing to know here is because he actually went bottom at 10 minutes, took the bounties, and protected the outpost, he had this outpost to TP to protect his Phantom Assassin. Everything's a chain reaction, right? If he was non-stop farming, like instead of TPing to base at 8 minutes and like getting full mana, full HP, and ready to fight for 10 minutes, and he was just farming jungle, he wouldn't be able to do all this. They probably would have lost bottom outpost. And he wouldn't be able to TP bottom to protect his Phantom Assassin like that and get 3 kills for his team. So again, like after bottom play, he just goes back to the mid lane and protects his mid lane again. And now his team is there, so he's just gonna play around there, get the power rune, and he's just ready to fight. Like, it feels like even though he's farming a lot, it feels like he always has full mana and full HP. It's because he's always controlling the runes, he's always chugging clarities, and he's looking around the map where the opportunities are to like counter initiate on the enemy. So here the fight breaks out. Grimstroke already used his spell, so he knows there's nothing that can like hold him down anymore, right? And he also has an arcane rune. So he zips in, but the bolt comes out, and that means they're all super tanky. So he just zips in, zips out, pretends like he's gonna fight. Now he's waiting for the bolt to run out, because he can't actually kill anyone while the bolt's here. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, the PA is just farming, right? Which is very nice. So Storm, now the Kunkka, he knows doesn't have bolt, he zips in. Phoenix also casting his spells. The arrow does not land onto Abed here, and the only reason why he jumped at Kunkka is because he knows that the bolt is on cooldown. And the Kunkka was out of position mid lane. And you can see, like, he's not just AFK farming, right? Now that he spent a lot of his mana and he has like only half mana left, he goes back into the jungle and farms a little bit before he will go again and heal up or maybe get a power rune. So he's going back to push the lanes out. He TP's mid again instantly. That's interesting. So why did he TP mid? Very simple, right? Power rune again. You can see like how much EG.Abed actually values his power runes. Like he TP'd with half mana, half HP from top lane to mid lane just so that he can get the rune. And he doesn't let the SF get the rune. That's insane, right? Like you can see the value of people like in the game, like how much they value something by just watching like these guys like do it. Like he realizes that this power rune is worth so much that he's willing to TP mid with just half mana, half HP. Whereas some players would have been like, oh, screw it. We don't need this power rune. I'm just gonna farm top. I'm gonna farm 2 camps, TP the base, get full mana, walk back mid lane. But instead, EG.Abed, he TP's middle, takes the power rune, and doesn't let the SF have it. And then he's still around the mid lane. Like even 14 minutes in, he's still around the mid lane, protecting his mid tower. In a lot of games, what I've seen is that SFs tend to take this mid tower against the storm. But EG.Abed is not allowing his mid tower to die whatsoever. Like he's non-stop protecting it, and he's just farming around the mid tower and just holding his TPs to protect his team if some fights break out. Oh, that is so big. Oh my god. So this SF, right, walks into the jungle, right, finds the Moonlight Shadow, finds the PA, right? But because EG.Abed was farming next to the mid lane, and he was next to the PA, he's able to zip in and cancel the SF ultimate before it can kill the PA. That's huge, because now the SF is gonna die. That is so big. That's the Eul's reveal too. And he saved his Phantom Assassin, didn't give SF a kill, and he killed the SF. Like, everything he's doing in his game is like cucking this Shadow Fiend super hard. Let's go to net worth now. And his net worth isn't even super high, he's like right in the middle. But how much impact he's had on this game is like incredible, right? He's part of 7 kills. And now he's going back bottom, he sees people out of position. Doesn't want to get chained to his team, moves away, waits for the Soulbind to finish. They already killed the Kunkka on the side here, and he kills the Grimstroke now. So instead of focusing on all his farm only and having the highest net worth, he's actually super focused on farming, but at the same time always ready to help his team. And he's trusting his Phantom Assassin to, like, you know, farm and do the right things too. And PA is doing that. PA is the highest net worth, and PA is the carry of this game. That is for sure. So now he finishes Kaya, first item. Pushes bot lane out. Always chunking clarities. Like, what I've noticed is, like, he never has, like, a clarity not being used. Like, courier comes, 2 more clarities. Non-stop clarity usage. And playing around the mid lane and going for every single power rune he possibly can. Oh, this time he tried to go for the illusion, but he got killed off. Sad for him. Now he goes back into the top lane, and so he's TP's bottom. That's interesting. So he only has half mana, but he doesn't, and no bottle charges, but he TP's bottom. Why does he do that? So it's 18 minutes. They have an outpost bottom and they have an outpost top, right? So right now he's thinking about the outpost already. And the enemy is chasing the Rubik and the PA, and he instantly TP's even though he only has 800 mana right now. He wants to be ready to, like, counter this fight if they actually chase. So the outpost gets taken back, and then 1.5 minutes for the outpost to be activated. And they instantly just storm this jungle after the enemy run away. And now they jump the Spectre. So he should be afraid of this Eul's combo coming from the Shadow Fiend. He gets feared, and now he gets soulbinded, and he's probably dead here, right? Yeah, he's dead. So this was a bit like overly aggressive move on his end. Like, he didn't need to do this, especially knowing that the enemies were all here. And it's a freaking Spectre. Like, you're not killing the Spectre who has 20 stick charges and power traps, right? So here he just, like, completely threw this fight. I think it was way too aggressive. If they just chilled in this area, they could have just got the second outpost and then just waited for the enemy to come into the outpost and fight there. But I think he knows that it was a mistake. Got some orangutan kisses going. And now the PA gets arrowed too. This feels super, super bad. PA is dead, now Phoenix is dead too. And this is like a complete throw from Dire at the moment. And I think this all started because, you know, EG.Abed kind of like did something that was a bit too crazy. And this, while all this happened, like the Spectre actually got a relic through all of that. And now he's dead for 50 more seconds. He's probably watching this fight and thinking, hey guys, I probably shouldn't have jumped bottom in front of their tier 2 tower, huh? But when I don't see anyone. And then 4 guys are dead. So let's see what he does when he arrives. If you look at the minimap, he realizes that mid is already being pushed out, top is already pushed out. There's not really much places to go to, but there is bounty rune spot coming. So let's see what he values. He TP's bottom. He jumps into the bounty rune in this area. He picks up the bounty rune here. He jumps in. Wait, what? Sorry, it's Storm, so he goes pretty fast. So we gotta watch what's happening. So here the Rubik goes for this bounty rune. This bounty rune is super scary to go for. But he takes it anyway. He's giving up his life for the bounty, it seems like. Here the Storm jumps into the back. Finds a Kunkka. If the Kunkka had X mark, that would be very scary, but good thing he doesn't. He pulls the Kunkka. Doesn't want to get stunned by the Ink Swell. Actually kills the Grimstroke. Yeah, which is really nice. But the SF ran away because SF doesn't have ulti, right? So he doesn't have anything to impact in this fight. And the SF had no idea who was here too. Like, he didn't want to go in and Yules for nothing. So he ran away, and he just gets a free kill like that. Super aggressive gameplay from Abed, and I kind of like it. And again, the same thing he does all over, like the entire game. He just like keeps playing in this area, like for 20 minutes now. All he's been doing is like playing in this area, protecting the mid tower non-stop, letting his PA farm the side lanes, and he's TPing, right? He's TPing to the outpost all the time, or TPing to tier 1 towers to like help his team fight. And now he's almost at Bloodstone. It's not a very fast Bloodstone timing. I think he's very sad with his net worth, but the impact he's had on this game is very, very high. So here the PA dies again. Rubik is dying too. PA is going for a black King Bar next item, but the PA's net worth also has stopped. Like this PA has died back to back. It's very bad. But that's also interesting to see, like for us to watch, like how will they come back into this game. So now went top power rune, down in there, he takes bottom power rune, and bottom they take the tower, but he does have a regen. What does he plan to do? He finds a Mirana. He zips straight into the Mirana. But why does he zip the Mirana? Because the Mirana is by herself, right? As a Storm, it's very important that you're always like going on a target that's by themselves. Don't go on the targets that are all clumped up, because you'll just get right clicked or bursted out or stunned somehow. So he zips in on the Mirana, but nothing happens because the Spectre haunted. And now they're all diving bottom, and here we go. Storm, he's thinking about zipping. He cancels it a few times, notices that he can't actually go in yet. And then the moment that the enemy starts running away, that's the time he zips in and pulls the Spectre. And like, he's making it really awkward for the enemy to escape. And just like that, because he timed it perfectly when they're about to run, that's when he zips in. He was able to get the Spectre, and then the Phoenix also popped his ult off. And just like that, one by one, they're gonna start killing people. And SF doesn't have ult either. So this SF without ult is like not that useful hero at the moment in the game. So he gets stunned here, and he's gonna die. That's okay, because the PA can probably clean up instead. And the SF cannot TP out. It's very sad for him, and he's gonna die. And I think EG.Abed is super happy with what just happened, because they were getting slapped for like the past 5 minutes, and then now with that one play he just made there, his team is back, and his PA is super fat. His PA just went from like being really far from BKB to just like 1,000 gold away. Alright, let's see what his next play is now, because his team has regained a little bit of control of the map. SF has to revive and get souls, so he knows SF will not be hunting him anymore. TP's mid lane, zips, doesn't care about not seeing anyone on the map because SF is dead. He feels like SF is the only person who can kill him. And now he's just gonna focus on his farm just so he can finish his Bloodstone, and he does. 24-minute Bloodstone. This is far from impressive. Far. But the amount of great plays that he's done in this game is like insane. That's what makes him like rank 1 player, right? Rank 1 player doesn't have the highest net worth every game. Rank 1 player plays the game like a beast and does the right things for the heroes that are in the game. He noticed the PA is a hard carry. So he's like, in this game, it feels like he's been making space for the PA instead of the PA having to make space for him. And his next item is a Black King Bar. He just wants to survive every fight. He doesn't want to get X-marked, doesn't want to die to some fear or anything like that. But here, we can see what he did was, they got the bounty runes again. He's always playing on the bounty runes. He always took every bounty rune pretty much. And he notices that there's people in the Roshan area. He zips in. And he wants to see if they're rushing. They're not rushing, so he just zips out and runs away. He just wanted the information if they're rushing or not there. Which is really nice because, like, he's not farming with all his mana, right? He clicked his Bloodstone before he got ulted. Oh, this is really, really nice, right? The one thing about Bloodstone is it can heal you for a shit ton of HP. He's getting ulted by the SF, so while he's in yield, when he comes on, he wants the Bloodstone to activate. So he activates it, and he doesn't die because of that. Instantly during the fear. And now he's lassoed, but he's bought enough time for his team to arrive. And now he doesn't have buyback money, right? No, he does not have enough buyback money. But the PA is able to clean up again, while they were all focusing the Storm Spirit. So another reason why Bloodstone is really nice in comparison to like Orchid is because this item lets you be super tanky, right? I oftentimes buy Orchid, and I think that's a very greedy way to play and a very like hard carry way to play. I should try to play more with Kaya into Bloodstone, honestly. I think like watching Abed play, like that's what I realized. It's just better. Orchid is like a solo item, you know, like solo kill people item. But this item, Bloodstone, is like it's a necessity no matter what, I think, and they're gonna want it. And because he's tanky and he bought all that time with his oh wow, the SF actually stole the Aegis. Crazy. Anyway, because he bought that time with his Bloodstone, like it took the enemy so much more spells in order to kill the Storm, and that's why the PA was able to like, you know, take them out. So here it is. Now he's gonna revive. SF stole the Aegis, so that's what feels bad, man. And let's see what his next plan of action is. He TPs to the mid lane. PA still wants to fight because he's got Black King Bar available. Phoenix gets X mark back, and PA and the Storm are gonna jump the same target. So he's trying to help the Storm kill the same people. But here, Grimstroke ulti comes out onto both Abed and Raven. But he's still very tanky because of the Bloodstone HP. Got yuled up by the SF, but that's okay. And now they're just gonna clean house here, because this PA is actually so strong thanks to all the space and counter kills that he's gotten. But here there's no Basher, he's just gonna get out. And because of the SF BKB too, like the PA is just gonna go straight into Basher now. So Abed at this point in the game, he's just trying to get that Black King Bar. So those plays can't happen anymore. The Yules into SF ulti and Kunkka's X marks, like they can't happen anymore if he gets Black King Bar, right? So that's his next goal. And as we can see, like even till now, he's been taking every single power rune the entire game. I feel like if there was a power rune counter, I think he got like freaking, I don't know how many he's gotten. A lot. He's got over 10 for sure, right? If you include bounty runes as well, he's probably got like 20 runes. I don't even know. It's actually just insane. And he keeps playing around the mid lane. Like we can see, like this game, he never really went to the silence that much. He's always farming jungle or like pushing the mid lane out. And now that the team feels more comfortable like moving out of the map, he decides to go bottom. So he's just gonna keep fast forwarding, sees a random Mirana, zips in, kills him. And he's always like playing with his team at this point in the game. He knows that there's no point for him to play by himself because he can't accomplish anything by himself, right? His PA is everything, and he needs to make sure that he's always covering his PA and ready to kill people with the PA. So here the SF finds Abed, heals him, but the PA jumps him. And the PA has a basher, so he just bashed the SF instantly. Just super bad for the SF, and then he dies. And now, because the SF is dead, Abed feels like, yo, I'm a god now. Nobody can kill me. Zip in one by one, and this DD Phantom Assassin is destroying everything in the game. Like, this game feels like it was all, like, the 4 of these guys with the PA, and then Abed, like, using himself as, like, a bait. Making himself very hard to kill. And then the PA just coming in and cleaning up and getting super fat this game and keep building all the physical damage items. And now he's just pushing out all the lanes. Got BKB now after all this. And again, he TP'd back to the mid lane and took the bounty rune. He like doesn't even TP the base. He just always like refilling his mana by taking runes. He's taking bounty runes, power runes, bounty runes, power runes, like non-stop the entire game. Right? He goes mid, kills it super fast, goes back. The waves, Like he got like clarities running, he's got regen runes, like Bloodstone, like everything. Like I want to say he's even had like 25 to like 35 clarities this game already as well. But now that he's got BKB and his team got all the items again, he's ready to go. Gets a pretty long zip onto this Kunkka here. Has BKB, so not afraid of anything. Shadow Fiend can't kill him. He can just click BKB if he needs it, but doesn't even need to do that because the PA just destroyed the SF. Ooh, Aghanim's Phoenix takes the PA. So every fight he's always looking for like the guy who's like low HP or alone by themselves, or third, help the PA kill someone. So here in this fight, he zipped in and he just pulls the Spectre because that's who the PA is going for. He obviously doesn't have the power to kill anyone on his own at this stage in the game, since, you know, his net worth is here, not up here, right? Like, he's like the third carry. Like, this NP even has way more farm than Spectre. This Storm does. He's like the tempo controlling Storm Spirit. And let's not forget, this Storm was probably last pick. So, like, this game, when Abed looked at the draft, in his mind, he saw the PA, he saw the NP, right? He saw the Spectre and he saw the Kunkka. And he realized that the hero that he needs to play in this game because of PA and NP is someone who can make catches and plays on the map. And I'm betting that Ember was banned. I think he would have played Ember if he had that choice. But I think Ember's banned like every game. So that's where he opted to go for the Storm Spirit, because he needed catch. And he needed a way to create tempo for his team. And that's exactly how he played this game. He played the Storm Spirit as a tempo controller who's always ready to fight with his team while farming, like, you know, some neutrals around some towers that need to be protected. So this was really nice gameplay. That's it. That's gonna be the GG here. And he's like, his item build too is like very supportive. And like, what I learned from this game is that, I mean, SF is a damn hard matchup for Storm. We talked about like how he laned and what he did, and like he just went straight into a jungle and just played for his own game. And he just, as soon as he got the Power Tread's magic wand bottle, like he already felt like he could always fight. And the biggest key point of like him playing the Storm especially is like always chugging clarity. So it's really important as a mid laner to understand like what your purpose in the game is. Are you the one who is farming and needs to carry, or are you the one who needs to make space for your carries?